Coming to you live from the heart of the Golden State. I'm your host, Matt, and joined with me, per usual, are my co-hosts,
Roger,
Andrew,
and Julian.
And this is the Cryptid versus Cryptid tournament. Now play the music. And we're back to the first official episode and return of Cryptid versus Cryptid.
Yeah,
Cryptid V,
Let's
I
go.
mean.
Yeah, monsters fighting each other. I mean, cryptids fighting each other.
Cryptids.
Let's go.
SCPs. Fucking, what's the other
Santa.
monster? Creepypasta. Holiday heroes.
Guardians of the, what was that one movie? The
That
DreamWorks one?
movie's so good. There's a Guardians of the Globe or some shit.
Some shit like that.
But it's
Rise
like
of the Guardian.
Rise
Yeah.
of the Dude, there's a book series. It's based on a book series.
Really?
Dude, there's so much more lore behind that movie than it's
That's
like
crazy.
presented in the movie. It's insane.
That one was
Alright.
fire.
All right, we're back with the first official episode. Hopping back, part 2 of
Yeah.
the Cryptid v Cryptid versus Cryptid, Cryptid v, whatever you want to call
Oh my
it,
God.
tournament.
It's just so far, I would call it the Cryptid versus Cryptid tournament. That's what it was all under. Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
it's kind of like the last of the Cryptid versus Cryptid, whereas now we're going to start rebranding after that.
The last hurrah. But yeah, we're just going to jump right into it?
I say,
jump
yeah,
into
let's
it.
go.
All right, so continuing from where we left off last time, I believe it was Makara versus Nightcrawler. We're continuing down to the intense battle between Santa Claus and the Owl Man.
Dun dun dun.
Just a quick refresher on Santa. You know his story. Characteristics, he's got a bottomless pouch. That's his item. He can pull toys out, maybe wield some Nerf guns with like little packs in the darts. Just a thought.
Throw a couple Barbies at him.
Hell yeah.
Does he only have toys in that sack? Does Santa not give
He's got-
things to adults, like a gun
Coal.
for Christmas? Oh, I got Dad a new hunting rifle. I mean, Santa got Dad a new
Oh,
hunting rifle.
Santa got Dad an AK-47
Yeah, that's crazy.
with a full drum mag. Abilities, body morphine. Obviously, you can shrink through
The chimney.
the
Chimneys.
chimneys.
Yeah.
And eternal life. Now, that doesn't mean he's immortal. Just
He
he
doesn't
will
age.
He doesn't
continue
have age.
living
Yeah.
indefinitely.
Yeah.
Then for his stats, intelligence of 10, power of 7, defense of 6, mobility of 10, which seems a little high.
I think that just because the ability 10's kind of crazy, just because it's not like mobility. Would you say mobility because we kind of include speed with it? Like, I don't think Santa's running quickly.
Yeah,
But-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it
he's
was more
pretty
when we
slow.
gave him a 10 was that he delivers presents so fast throughout the night that
Yeah, I mean, he covers every house, but then you could say that could be the sleigh.
Yeah,
But
I
at
feel
the
like
same
he's-
But at
time,
the
it's
same
going
time,
to
he's
take a
going
long
through the
time
houses
to eat the
and
food,
within
late,
the-
exactly.
I feel
So
like
he's got to do all that within a split second at every house.
Pretty much, yeah.
I gotcha. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. You guess.
Or is he speeding up time when he's delivering the presents?
I don't know
Or
about that.
slowing
Time
down.
powers gets kind of crazy, because it's like
Yeah, time manipulation, I feel like Santa'd take the whole tournament. Just freeze time, beat the shit out of his enemy real quick,
Well, I
stab
don't
him
think
in
he
the
can
heart with a
freeze
candy
time,
cane.
but maybe with the sleigh, that's why he's able to deliver the presents. Not necessarily he can.
well, but he has
But
to do
he
all this
has
stuff
to
in
do
the
everything.
house really quickly, because
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to take like a minute to do
Imagine
that
if
for
he
every
took
house.
5 minutes at every house. Even, yeah, just a minute at every house, way too slow.
True.
Then we have HP of 8 and stealth of 10, because nobody's actually seen Santa Claus. And then
Well,
he
when I was 5,
and he was fighting the Owl Man. Quick rundown on the Owl Man. Humanoid body, owl features, claws. Abilities, silent flight, night vision. Stats, intelligence of 7, power of 8, defense of 5, mobility of 9, HP 6, stealth 8. Now, a quick rundown, since neither of you were here when me and Roger recorded the initial episode. So how we would always do, oh, okay, well, I think this creature wins this amount of times out of 10, opposed to this creature amount of times out of 10. This is one battle, no, oh, he could have done this and it would have led to this. It's he does this, this is what happens. No
So
what
we're,
ifs.
We're definitive of this is how this is going to happen.
100%.
And what's the arena that we're starting with?
Well, we still got to discuss arena.
Oh, okay.
So-
Has it been pretty different every time? Or?
No. I'm
No,
pretty
you
sure
know,
it's
a lot of
mostly-
these guys live in the forest.
Well,
They just coincidentally have never run into each other in real life, you know. But getting back on track, Santa and Owlman. Santa's delivering presents in the UK. Comes across Owlman at his bell tower, and fight ensues.
So
why
like
hasn't
thoughts?
why hasn't that happened before though? Is it like he's on the watch specifically on Christmas night, or like?
I don't know, I didn't think about it that deep.
what if Owlman's flying overhead and
or
he
just sees
finds the North
sleigh.
Pole?
No, Owlman doesn't leave his.
Yeah,
thing.
he stays in the bell tower of the
I see.
church.
I would say he just sees the sleigh flying, and then he goes after it.
Dude, he, like, Santa fucked up in his speed, slowed down for a second. Owlman actually sees him this time, and is like, fuck this guy, this is my airspace.
That, or there's actually like children living in the church for the first time, so he's got to deliver some presents finally to that one spot.
Yeah, steps on the territory of the church, and it's all out.
Or what if he almost like clips the tower and then Owlman's like, yo, what are you doing? And then starts chasing after him.
So you want to start with Santa in the sleigh.
I say it's better if he steps foot on it and just like activates like, oh, Owlman knows that there's someone there that shouldn't be.
And now he's on his turf too.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going at the church, inside or outside of the church.
Inside, we could do more destruction on the inside.
Or they could start on the roof.
I was thinking on
That's
the roof.
true.
They
He
start
sets down on the
They
roof.
can always slam through.
Damn, wait, okay, so then are we letting Santa's sleigh plus the reindeer be an obstacle that can be interacted with?
What if it's like a boss battle? Santa is flying around and then Owlman's just staring at him, and then Santa like jumps off his sleigh onto the rooftop and they just face each other for a showdown.
Santa pulls out the...
Yeah, what if the reindeer, we know animals tend to get weird around cryptids. What if the reindeer were like, oh hell nah, and booked in a different direction after Santa laying it down because they're like, we sense something wrong here.
Okay, so...
I
it's
mean,
just
they're
like,
loyal companions, but I mean, even dogs will sit in the truck if in the stories they sense something weird. They won't follow their
Yeah.
owner when they get out. So the reindeer can either fuck off or they're stuck in place.
I say they fuck off. It's easier to just do this without
Yeah.
obstacles.
All right, cool. Then who's the aggressor? Obviously, Owlman, I think.
Yeah, it just doesn't like it doesn't like people, right? So
Yeah, it doesn't really.
doesn't like Santa.
All right, so he's going in for the first blow. Is he dive bombing? Because he's got to play to his advantage aerial combat, where Santa.
Does he have a
lacks.
higher stealth?
No, I don't even need to look. Santa's got stealth 10.
I feel
So
like
Santa's got to know, like he's got to have like almost like a domain of knowledge or space around him, right? Because he's just that smart to know when someone's gonna look, like, oh, they can't be able to see me. So
I don't think he'd have that problem because he's moving so fast.
you think it's just like no matter, I could be staring right at Santa and he's just so fast I can't even see him.
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like Owlman like flies up a couple times and then does like a claw swipe at him from the air. And
Like, comes down and swipes at him.
yeah, he just flies up like a little
Or
bit
he just
above
flies
Santa
up and
and
then
then like
glides
claws
in.
at him and then kind of like flies backwards. Just to
Like
see
a
kind
hawk
of
or
what he
something
does.
That's
Yeah.
like unsure about prey. You know, just goes for the. Okay, I see it.
Does Santa have... Santa's fast. Does he have time to react?
What's the mobility of Hawk?
The mobility of Owlman is 9.
And Santa.
10.
10.
Damn.
He has a 10 stealth and a 10.
He's actually one of our most overpowered.
Compared to
Competitors.
Owlman, does Owlman have any stats that are higher?
I don't know. Let's see.
Because it sounds like even though Owlman's got some pretty good strats in some spots, Santa's playing.
He's
Power
got more
strength.
power, and that's about it. So he's physically more stronger.
He has
than
that
Santa.
and then just fight. That's pretty much all he has.
Does he get like first attack? Like, does he catch him off guard?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Santa's like,
I think
more
Santa
aware.
would be ticked off because of how the reindeers are acting. That something's not right.
so he's aware already.
I think
I
he'd
would just
be-
say take it out of the reindeers out of the thing. We start the battle the second he touches the roof. So it's like, okay, yeah, the reindeers might have fucked off, but like maybe because he's encountered other cryptids before or something, he just knows like, okay, they do that whenever there's something creepy. I'll find them again or something.
I mean, Owlman has a stealth of 8, so it's not impossible that he can hide from Santa.
But what Julian's saying, so we're talking about he goes in for the claw swipe, but does it catch Santa off guard? Or is he aware of this?
And he has silent flight too.
He does have.
He
I
does
think
have
he.
silent
I
flight.
think he catches Santa off guard.
Because he's just like,
So Santa's got a gash now in the back, in his back or something.
They're on rooftop though, and it's Christmas, so it might be snowing.
That's true.
Will
It's also
Santa
the
be
UK.
able to keep his footing after a sneak attack?
Does Santa have snow walking? No, that's Krampus.
That's Krampus only.
I feel like he's been on the snow. enough.
He's been on
yeah.
roofs enough while it's
It's
snowing.
all
to,
yeah.
like,
It's kind of
he's pretty good on that.
Year.
Okay, now Santa's aware. He's taken some, I'd say some pretty good damage. Owlman,
Yeah,
a
I think he's
sneak
probably
attack
got-
is pretty big in
Yeah.
this.
I think he's probably got a pretty good gash on his back or something. He's like, oh shit.
Now, what are our thoughts on Santa pulling out like a big candy cane from his bag as a weapon?
I could see that.
I
yeah.
could see that.
I was
but
thinking
but
a
is
big
candy
blunt
cane
object.
kind of brittle though? Like, would he not want to whip out something?
I mean, I
stronger?
was thinking
He
in
could
just
whip out-
terms of the theme of Santa, but we can go further. He pulls out a Nerf sword.
Or a baseball bat.
That works.
I think baseball bat. It's a pretty common Christmas item.
He brings out a red metal baseball bat.
Yeah, the aluminum is like
He's going for some serious damage. Anything he can use as like a shield? Or would he even want to? Would he go full power two-hand
I feel like he's
bat?
just gonna. Santa seems like he's two-hand in the bat, and I feel like he's gonna be
he's
able
like a
to.
parry type. He's like
Yeah.
I can.
I
The
feel
claw
like
comes at me, I'll catch it.
So here was my thing with the candy cane though. It's got the curve. It's got a hook on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I agree. Baseball bat's still better.
Yeah, it's more of the thing that the candy cane, he would pull that out and it would just break on first hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharpened candy cane. Like
Okay,
back in the day in school.
I could see
It's
that
like a shank.
as a cool like idea for like a this is an anime version of Santa that can like summon them from the bag and launch them all or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't think. I
Okay.
think this version of Santa's probably just whipping out the baseball bat and he's like, all right, I've had to do this a few times before. like,
Alright, he pulls out the baseball bat. Now he's aware. Owlman, I imagine, knows he's lost the element of surprise at this point.
yeah.
Who's going for the next attack? Because Owlman, he's going to stay in the air. That's where his advantage is.
I think that Owlman's gonna kind of fly towards him a little bit, and Santa's gonna swing on him and try to like break some of his bones. But I don't know if Owlman would catch the bat with his claws or anything,
okay,
and
a
if he would prevent it.
pretty big thing I think we're missing out on here is do we think that Santa is in a rush? Do we think he needs to get
Oh,
this
he's
done?
in a rush. It's Christmas.
So I think he should be the aggressor pretty much 100% of the time at this point. Because it's like, he knows that he needs to get this thing done. So he's like, fuck, I got something that hit me. All right, I got to just take it out real quick.
So I think he's running at him with the
I think
bat.
he's running with
Okay, then
jumping
I
and
think
swing or
we should
something, like-
swing. We should swing back on the bad idea. It's an aerial creature. Santa's
hear me out.
smart. He knows he's going to need something
He
that's
is
got some
intelligence
range.
10.
He's as smart
Maybe
as a
he
human,
whips
if
out
not
like
smarter.
a fishing rod or something
Or
for like the
he
crab.
can just whip out a fucking
Harpoon
baseball
gun.
and just start batting the baseball at him to kind of get him to
Maybe.
come here.
How big does the bag stretch open? Can he pull something out of it like a car or like?
It's got to be realistic present size.
A
So-
harpoon gun.
Okay, okay. I think we should only stick to presents that would be logical for a lot of people to get, not like Jerry wants a harpoon gun for Christmas. Like he's one of the few people that actually hunts sharks or something. Like,
Airsoft gun.
I don't know. Airsoft isn't doing shit to like something that's an owl man, really.
Yeah, I feel like his fur.
It annoys him. Okay,
That's-
and he comes in for the attack.
That was basically my thing about the baseball bat too, is annoying him to get him to start aggressing, because what's his intelligence?
Which one?
Owl.
Man.
7.
He's kind of smart. He's smart enough to not just be an
Yeah,
animal.
but that's almost still like a close to a wolf intelligence or a dog man, and dog man's the main aggressor where he keeps attacking no matter what.
Yeah, but that's also kind of due to just Dogman's origin. It's not like...
Well, this guy's aggressive. Whenever someone stepped on his territory, he was like over there.
I think they're just full out fighting. I think that... Because it's like... one's on a time limit, one's an aggressor. So I don't think it's like, oh, I whip out the airsoft and he's like annoyed.
Okay,
I
so you
think
think
it's like,
Owlman's
I
also
think they're
going
just
to be
like gonna
attacking?
clash, bro. This is like a 1v1 fighter on the roof, pretty much.
Okay, so Owlman comes in for the attack. You think he's going claws first or head first? Because this will matter for Santa's swing.
I feel like he's always going claws.
I think he saw how much damage he did with this first one. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go in with the claws.
So Santa swings. Is he breaking legs? Breaking claws?
Okay, did we go swing back on the bad idea?
We're going back to the bad idea because you made a good point about being the aggressor and being in a rush. So they're
Okay.
both kind of being aggressive.
I think with the higher mobility
because
plus the legs, I feel like on Owlman, if it's got claws, maybe aren't his
he has higher
strongest
strength
feature.
too.
Yeah, but are his legs stronger or his arms because he needs
His
to
legs.
or like his Owlman only has wings, right? He doesn't have
No,
arms.
he doesn't have arms.
He doesn't have
So
arms.
his
It's
wings
just
would be
wings.
the strongest thing on his body.
No, his legs would be way stronger.
Well, deadlier, sure. But just muscle strength.
I'm talking about, do you think his legs would be able to catch this bat and not take like a break? You think he'd be just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a bruise?
If
like,
he grabbed it with the claw, like a
Well,
man-sized...
that's also
well,
precision
Santa's
based.
faster though. That's
Yeah.
my thing. His swing's coming in faster than the claw's going to
He's
be
not
able to, like react.
that much. Well, technically he's a lot faster.
I-
But
yeah.
stats-wise, he's only a point off from 10.
I'm pretty sure the
Which-
stats also 9 to 10
is a big gap. Then,
gap.
yeah. I feel like he could swing on him. But how much damage is it realistically going to do to one of the feet?
That's what I'm saying. Do we think it's a break? Like he broke one of the legs or something?
I feel
or-
like maybe Owlman gets injured with a hit, but he also trades with him.
gets like a stab or something
Yeah.
with the other claw. I can
You
see
don't
that.
think Santa could dodge now that he's aware?
I feel like if you're taking a swing at something, like
You're using your full body.
you're using your full thing, you can't really dodge after that. Like if they
Well,
clash
If he's
and
using
he's
his
like,
full body and he's taking a swing, do we think that this is doing more than just a little damage?
I think it could break a leg, and then the other leg perhaps claws him, or he tries to claw him with both, and gets some sort of scratch. But I think Owlman definitely like breaks a leg or something.
Okay, so we got Santa he's taken one big cut. You think the next cut's going to be big or small now that he's...
I think it'll
I
be...
almost think that if he's going for a leg, his arms are almost in line with the claws, so he's almost maybe just going to take a gash like on his left arm or something,
Yeah.
or right arm, whatever his
And
swing
maybe
is,
like
but-
some slight on his face or something.
All right,
Yeah, I don't
Santa's been hit pretty hard so far. I mean, that sneak attack's going to do a lot, and now he's got left arm disabled.
And is he
While
bleeding out?
Owlman has only a broken leg at most.
Plus, Owlman's got wings, so the leg isn't necessarily, it just means he can't land. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily that he's
And
out
he's
of
still
his
got a
fight.
good leg.
Yeah.
As far as bleeding out, I don't think enough time has passed for that to really come into factor quite yet.
I think that bleeding out would be a thing if it was like a delayed fight, but I think they're both too aggressive for bleeding out to be a factor here.
Yeah.
And they're both
Unless it was
really
like
fast,
they really
too.
trade a bunch of blows. I think Santa at this point probably swaps his item though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
He's like, okay,
100%.
the bat, I had 2 hand strength and it only broke a leg. I need
Probably
to whip
bent it
something
a
else out.
bit.
I think he's going to need to strat change, too.
Yeah.
Because
He's gonna have to
his
go on the defensive
all-out
a little
attack
bit.
didn't do enough, and now he's down in arm. He's got to stealth a 10. Owlman comes flying in, swoops past, they have their little exchange. I think Santa's got a brief window to stealth.
But if
Very
he's stealth,
brief.
I
it's
think-
inside the building.
Okay,
itself.
I think that. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. Does he go inside, like in the bell tower, or 2? Do we think that it's snowing? Because if it's snowing on this roof, does he whip out like a white blanket and then like use it as cover?
That's camo.
Yeah.
Or what if he rushes to like the chimney of the church and
That's
sneaks
what I'm
down
saying.
it?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. So do we think they
He
go
also has
inside or
body
no?
morphine, so he wouldn't be slowed down.
I
by
feel
going
like
down.
if he's aggressor or being aggressive, sneaking inside is only going to delay the fight a long time.
And if there's people in there, he's not gonna want to.
no, yeah, he's not going to want to.
I think he's gonna want to keep away from inside the church.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he stealths. Where is he hiding?
I like
Are
the
we
white
going
blanket,
blanket?
camo.
Yeah, I feel like if he, I don't see a lot of stealth opportunities except like the white blanket.
White blanket. He could hide inside the bell tower.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking. Going
But
into
where's
it.
he hiding that's
But-
like completely hidden? Like,
Inside the bell.
but
He's
you
got-
have to move the bell to get inside it.
He can body morph.
body morph small and just hold on to the actual bell part.
Does Owlman have enhanced hearing because he's part owl?
He's got night vision.
Problem with this is, if Santa wants to, he doesn't want to kill too much time. If I'm hiding in the bell, what's my next move?
Yeah, I feel like he
Yes.
wouldn't really hide.
All right.
I feel like he would, but it's just like hiding in the bell is not necessarily his best option here.
I feel like if he was to hide, he'd have another weapon under him, and he'd wait for like the owl to land, and then he would like sneak up behind him and hit
Well, that's
him.
what I'm saying with like the white. It doesn't even really have to be a white blanket, but just something that's color matching to this roof.
Yes.
And he gets something that's like a blanket to put on to basically just give him enough time to pull out something else.
I think he's like under the blanket, and he pulls out another weapon, waiting for the owl to land.
What weapons?
That's what I don't know.
Sharp, large candy cane.
Oh my god.
Javelins.
I'm down for this idea. So I think he does this. He gets the white blanket. He goes under, gets out a giant candy cane, and he just starts speed licking it into a
He
point.
gives it that guac guac.
And
real
then
quick.
he's like
Maybe he doesn't
preparing.
even need to speed lick it. He whips out a knife and just starts doing the thing
Nah,
that
he speed
you
licks it.
do with the stick. Except
he just whittles
he
down
whittles
the candy cane.
but he's so good at it because he's done it all these years.
I think he speed licks it.
Okay, I think that's up to
It's up to
listener
interpretation.
discretion.
Yeah. I mean, he's eating a lot of cookies, dude. He probably can get one of those to shape pretty fast.
Oh, he's that fast too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how slow he's doing it manually. He's pretty quick. All right, we got the sharp
He's
candy
prepared,
cane.
Yep.
and he's hidden. Now,
He will need a second to find Owlman, though.
does Owlman land right on the roof again,
I think
or does
Owlman
he?
uses enhanced vision to like scope out. Okay, what's different about this roof? I know he just went into hiding. I think he's
Okay.
scoped in basically, and maybe he sees. Maybe Santa's smart. Well, he's 10 intelligence. I think Santa's smart enough to leave a little something to be like, oh shit, there's something there that wasn't there before. You know?
Yeah, he
Like he
set
lays
some
down
bait.
another little blanket on top of like a big mound of snow on the roof.
Maybe it's like a blue blanket or something that'll be like, oh, that would be kind of
Or like
stupid
a
if
not-
you were like
Not even
just
a
to hide
blue,
under
like
that.
a gray. Like,
Yeah.
So there's a gray and then there's white.
Yeah.
Okay. He hears him land. He chucks the javelin after getting out from the blanket. How well do we think his aim is? And he's not going to have a lot of time to line up the shot. He's going to want to get it
Is
out
there
quick.
anything about Santa that has to do with aim?
Well, also,
'Cause, like,
could he
body
hear
morphing down
the?
a chimney, you just can see the chimney. It's not like I have to aim for that shit. But,
Yeah.
And he,
and like
yeah.
eating, that's not has anything to do with precision. He's not even the guy making the toys, so I wouldn't say he has like crafting ability.
Yeah, so I don't think his aim is that good. But
Yeah,
it doesn't
maybe.
have to be. He just has to neutralize a wing, and he's smart enough to know that. The wings are big.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. So maybe he doesn't even wait for it to land. He just waits for it to get close, so that its wings are spread out in like the
And they go
in
kind
like
of
the glide, like I'm about to land from formation, and then he's just like, you're the biggest target you're gonna be, so just chucks it.
Alright, he hits a wing. Alman's grounded. He's losing a lot of his perks here.
Yeah, he's also
And he's got a
one-legged.
broken
yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
I feel like now
Now
Owlman's gonna get into a bit of a rage and like hobble to him and try to beak him now.
I think Santa will have enough time to pull a weapon now. He's gonna be stunned after getting hit in the wing and like crashing on the. He crashes on the roof. Does he fall off? Does he stay on?
Well, I thought he was pretty low. He already landed.
no, he didn't
No.
land. That was
He
the
was-
thing.
he was
had
gliding.
he was gliding, got hit in the wing. Now he crashes onto the roof.
Slippery
I think
roof
with
right
I think
now.
with the leg gone, I think he falls off the roof because I think with the leg he probably would have stabilized, but I think he's tries to use it for stability. Fuck.
Yeah,
on-
even if
off
he
the roof.
with the one, he wouldn't be able to. It'd be more of like just a clawing back,
Yeah.
and then he'd fall.
I could see that. He's like
Yeah.
clawing and then falls off the edge.
Now is that fall enough to kill?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we would have to see how big the church and everything is.
I don't know. I'm just taking like even basic like 2-foot fall. I don't think a human being is like dying from that, even injured. But I think that it's injuring him more, depending on even if he falls on the spear that's in him.
Okay, he's on the ground. Santa's on the roof.
Do we think Santa goes for the kill strike here? Okay, in the laws of cryptid versus cryptid, the fight has to end, but in the laws of this tournament, can Santa go away? Like, he knows that it's disabled enough, I've got to get
pretty
this
sure this
presents
is a
out?
kill to kill.
This is a kill. You have to kill.
I think Santa's jumping off the roof and stabbing him.
I think so, too. I think we've got another spear situation here. He's using the second one to...
Re-licks
Do
his
a-
candy
I think
cane.
he just gets a shovel. It just
He wants a
shoves it
shovel
down.
for Christmas.
Bro, some people want shovels.
I say
Listeners,
he whips
write
out-
in if you asked for a shovel for Christmas.
I say he whips out, like, a samurai sword or something.
Oh, who wants
Okay.
a... Dude, that's way
Bro,
different,
you know how
bro.
many otaku exist? Who wants a samurai sword for Christmas?
Who's getting a samurai sword for Christmas, bro?
I got a sword for my birthday.
Bro, you
That's
got a
different.
sword for yourself.
Yeah, that's
I got a
not for
sword for my
Christmas.
birthday.
Okay, three of
No.
us in this room have swords.
Yeah,
so I
but
think
that's
that's
different.
A pretty...
That's just people owning swords. That's not
Yeah,
getting
but I
them for
couldn't
Christmas.
ask one for Christmas?
Have you ever gotten one?
No.
Yes.
Actually, that's not true, yes.
I have gotten one.
Which one did you get?
I got a small medieval sword.
The Master Sword.
Nice.
Oh, that's true, the Master Sword.
So he pulls out a sword.
Yeah, he pulls out a replica sword.
I say he
I-
pulls out the Master
Yeah.
Sword.
He pulls
Yeah.
out the fucking master sword. Is he jumping from the roof?
Yeah, dude. He's got the full, yeah! Oh, but it wouldn't be like that. It would be like, yeah!
Yeah. He
Yeah.
jumps down. Finishes Owlman, I think.
I think so, too.
I mean, he fell off the roof after getting hit in the wing. He's stun locked for a minute. I think he's done.
Yeah.
There's not much he could do with only one leg, really.
I think it really just came down to the fact that Santa's smarter. It's like, and he's smart, plus you've got your bag. It's like, yeah.
Alright, Santa takes the win and moves on. And I totally skipped over our next fight that we should have done first.
Damn.
SCP-106 versus the Black Shook. Quick little recap of 106. Now, for those who don't remember, because we don't cover a lot of SCPs, this is the old rotting zombie guy from World War II. Go back and listen to that episode if you're interested in learning more. But basically, characteristics: humanoid form, rotted body, abilities: rotting touch, dimensional portal, and high pain tolerance. Follows it up with an intelligence of 6, power of 3, defense of 4, mobility of 5, HP of 4, stealth of 6.
Stats are low. He's got some pretty busted abilities. And also the damage mitigation isn't necessarily that he just can reduce the damage he receives. He just doesn't feel it, really.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, then we hop over to the Black Shook. If you'd like more information, go watch that episode. Basically, big black dog that does scary things. Characteristics: 35 inches tall, 200 pounds, bright red eyes. Some stories say he has 1, some stories say he has 2. Abilities: Death Howl and Silent Step. Stats: Intelligence of 6, Power of 8, Defense of 6, Mobility of 9, HP of 6, Stealth of 10. Now, how are we gonna determine how they meet? One's just an SCP that is just wherever the fuck. And I believe the Black Shook is a more European monster.
I feel like they're
Cryptid.
in like a German bunker.
a German bunker. What's the bunker?
Because the one guy's like from World War II, right?
Yeah, he's a soldier from World War II.
What if they're just in like a German bunker and the dog's just like roaming around and that's how they encounter each other?
Maybe it's like in a German town that was like built over destruction from World War II or something.
Yeah,
And that's why
like
he's
a-
there. And then the dog is just roaming streets, like trying to terrify people. So like an empty street or something.
I can roll with it. Everybody else?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Alright, who's the aggressor, though?
Black Shook.
Yeah,
If
probably
he
Black
start
Shark because
howling by
he
howling.
starts howling already. He just sees someone and he's like, all right, time to, you know,
Death Howls.
death howl.
Okay. So this is going to be a tough one, because SCPs are weird. So is Black Shook going in for an attack first?
Well, I think he death howls and then maybe 10 stealth just kind of vanishes into the darkness.
Alright, vanishes in the darkness. SCP-106 is just kind of looking around, doesn't know what's going on. I don't know if we clarified this in the episode, but does a physical touch against 106 rot you?
I'm pretty sure how we did it was it takes time. I don't know
No,
how.
but I think he's saying, does it have to touch you, or can you interacting with it start the rot?
I don't know if we clarified that. I know he touched 76, and that's what started the rot. I don't know if he hit him, if that rots it.
Then we should clarify that right now off the little bit of knowledge we have of this SCP fresh in our memory.
I feel like if he gets touched.
You know what? I think we did, because he rotted the weapons from 76.
It's gonna be a pretty quick fight, because Black Shook has to touch him physically.
But
Yeah,
it
but
still
the rot's
takes time.
slow.
I honestly feel like the black chick would attack him and like rip him up, but after eating him, he would die from the poison rot.
Well, the problem is, if the SCP dies, does the rot still continue?
I mean, it wouldn't matter. It's whoever dies first.
Because I can already see, like, he goes in the shadows, the SCP doesn't know what's going on, and then, like, a leap from behind at the neck or something. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the Black Shook is just animal nature. I'm going to take this thing out.
But here's the thing. Teeth start to rot.
Yeah,
He's gonna
but do
lose
they
his canines.
rot the second I bite down on his neck?
No,
they
but he's gonna
instantly
have
rot?
to back off to do more attacks.
I don't
And
know.
in that
I don't
time-
know,
dogs
'cause I
grab
feel
and
like-
rip.
I
What's
feel like
the mobility
Of
106? It's low, isn't it?
all his stats are-
all his stats are pretty low. He's got a mobility, you said?
Yeah.
5.
HP.
HP 4.
He also has a high pain tolerance.
okay.
So
Pain
even if-
tolerance is cool, but if I
I think
rip
the
your
dog-
neck off,
yeah.
like, I don't think you're
But
gonna
first he has
live.
to bite. And so if this guy already feels the bite, it would still take time. And this guy has a tolerance to be able to just take it and just start ripping.
I don't think he has
What's the
strength.
power of this guy?
Of SCP?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's doing shit.
I think he just gets mauled and then
Yeah, I think he gets mauled, and if it takes too long, maybe Black Shook takes some rot damage, but I don't know. Black Shook just seems a little too OP for this fight, really.
What if
Like,
he gets bit? Okay, you know, Black Shook's going to town on his neck, and he portals through the floor.
Okay, but what does the
Because I
portal
don't
do to
think
Black
they can
Shook?
follow through the portal.
No, they can't.
They can't.
Yeah.
So he'd be gone, safe again.
Yeah, but how big's this arena? And are we saying
I
that
mean,
he
we're
can
just like in a town, right?
Are we? Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it was just on the street. I don't know if it's the whole town. Like,
Yeah, well, if it's just on a street, then he could just like drop through the portal, other side of the street.
yeah, but do we think Black Shook is slow enough to not be able to react? Like, oh shit! Like,
No,
run at
he's
him?
definitely reacting. I think he might be like confused for a second, but I think he's able to react.
I
'Cause
feel
I
like
almost feel like no matter where on the street you come up, like
he's
Black
gonna
Shook is gonna
just
be able
bite
to
you again.
just like run up on you again. Like unless he's trying to like super portal hop or something. Like I'm just gonna start teleporting, or use portals to get
Yeah.
all over the place. But
And if you think about it, it does work in the detriment because it gives Black Shook time to re-stealth.
yeah,
And he's got a really high stealth already, so it's not going to be hard for him to just disappear on this guy. He can't find him. So we go in Black Shook.
yeah.
I
he
think Black
mauls
Shook
him.
is just, even though the SCP is strong, I think that its strength is in too many categories that Black Shook doesn't care about. Like,
Alright, well, that 30-minute discussion that we had previously just got stomped on by this 2-minute discussion. So let's hop back down. Now we have Enfield Horror versus Monkey Man. Now, I couldn't find the tab. I had to extend it. The Enfield Horror, for all that you who don't remember, he's like Bigfoot number 78.
no,
Enfield Horror is the
Horror is
blob.
the three-legged
Oh,
blob with the scratching
yes.
on the door and the daughters and stuff.
Enfield Horror, like they said, is the weird mutant creature thing. Like I said in the other ones, go back, watch the episode. Characteristics: 3 legs, small T-Rex like arms, 200 pounds, 4 feet tall. No abilities. Stats: intelligence 5, power 8, defense 8, mobility 8, HP 7, stealth 5. Relatively balanced stats.
Yeah, it's got a lot of bulk, but not a lot of intelligence or defense. Or no, it has high defense.
It has high defense.
Not a lot of intelligence or mobility then.
And then we hop down to Kala Bandar, aka the Monkey Man. Characteristics: 4.5 feet tall. He's got a metal helmet. He's got some metal claws. And in this rendition, we will be going with the black jumpsuit. No abilities. And we have a stats of intelligence 8, power 7, defense 7, mobility 8, HP 5, stealth 8. He's got slightly higher stats. Now,
How tall is Monkey Man?
4
just
feet.
half a foot taller than the Enfield Horror.
Okay.
So, these guys, once again, are actually both rural creatures. The Enfield Horror was seen mostly in town, as well as the Monkey Man is invading homes and stealing stuff.
So this could just be a house, like just a house visit from both of them at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, Monkey Man's in there. Enfield Horror scratches at the door. Monkey Man thinks it's the dog. Opens the door. Enfield Horror.
And he's got metal claws.
He does have metal claws, yes. I
I
believe
feel like
they're like attachments to his
Yeah.
hands.
I think they were brass knuckles more of.
Yeah,
And then
so
they
it's
have
like
spikes on them or
something like that, yeah. They're not actual
is it the
his
same
claws.
Monkey Man like from the movie coming out?
No,
No,
no. That's a whole other original story.
Okay.
So who would be... I think Enfield Horror would be the aggressor in this.
Yes,
I mean,
he
he's
is.
actively trying to get into the house. Monkey Man's just kind of there fucking shit up.
But
I
once
feel
he's in the house, okay, this house has to be devoid of people because that's just going to cause problems.
Yeah,
Well, that's
So-
that's the thing about Monkey Man is he just breaks in the house and steals shits or breaks shit and then goes out.
So
the
Enfield
house.
Horror hears that probably and thinks there's
Thinks
a
there's
person,
someone in there.
and then scratches on the door. Monkey Man opens the door. Enfield Horror is like, wait, this isn't a person. But Enfield Horror, I don't think ever reached his end goal, so we don't know what he's looking to do.
No.
So once he sees Monkey Man, what do we?
Now,
He drops the bone for him. He's ready to play fetch. Yeah, I don't know. There's no real aggressive attacks from... Well, that's not true. There is a story of the Enfield Horror. A little kid is just playing in his backyard, I believe is how the story goes. The Enfield Horror rolls up, eats his shoes, like, off his feet, and then fucks off.
then
Yeah.
he tear up his pants and like basically
Yeah.
tore up everything.
No, like, bloody damage, but the clothes were destroyed. The shoes and the pants.
Yeah,
To a certain
Enfield,
point.
Enfield Horror is definitely an aggressor, so I don't even think it matters. And Monkey Man's basically dressed up like a human, anyways, ish clothes. And
He's got
so
clothes on.
I don't think Enfield Horror has enough intelligence to be like, oh, this isn't a human.
No,
Yeah.
he does
So
not.
does he start eating the jumpsuit?
Yeah, I think he's no shoes. He's going for the he's going for the legs. He wants to eat that black jumpsuit.
Is he fast? I feel like he's just like more creepy. Like
The Enfield Horror is fast, yes.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It was
He
something about
covered-
he covered like a huge distance
Yeah,
in
and,
like a
like-
small period of time. It was like, whoa.
Couple hours, 3 hours or something like that. He was like fly a railroad track, then he went to a house, then he went back to that railroad track, then he went into a street or something like that.
Yeah, and it was all within like a period of time that was like, that's way too quick.
I don't really got any major thoughts on this one. I mean,
I feel like the Monkey Man would just start to claw at him, or punch him.
What's a Monkey Man's power?
Seven.
7.
My
Do we
whole
think
thing-
his 7 is getting past the 8 defense so we gave the Enfield
I
Horror?
don't. Here's the thing: is that the Enfield Horror took a shotgun blast and wasn't even phased.
Wasn't phased by it. So it's like,
There's not
He's
much.
got thick skin.
So maybe it's just like a slow mauling. The Monkey Man's just trying to attack him constantly because it's a monkey. I feel like it's going to be very wild and sporadically just fighting him, and then it's just going to slowly eat him while it's just like freaking out.
okay. Does the Enfield Horror actually get a grip on Monkey Man? Like to start eating him basically.
Is he faster than Monkey Man?
I don't think he is faster than the Monkey Man. Well, I think they both have a mobility of 8. Yeah, they both have the same mobility. But I feel like Monkey Man's more agile,
He definitely
as
is.
to where the Enfield Horror is more speed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Enfield Horror seems more of like direct, straight line, whereas he's just jumps around.
So I feel like unless Monkey Man was caught off guard, which he totally could be, I feel like he'd have time to like jump around and get away before that first attack.
Yeah. I don't know. I can see Monkey Man using this household as a means to kind of get away from the Enfield Horror. Because I don't know if the Enfield Horror is necessarily like climbing on tables or anything.
I don't
But
think he'll
With
be
his
able-
body shape, I don't see
and
that.
hand his weight too. I think he's 200 pounds,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I
it's
don't
not
know.
like he has any arms to really like push himself up.
I think this almost might just be a battle of attrition here. Like Monkey Man's just continuously beating it from higher ground. Like
Monkey Man's also, I feel like his attacks are more lethal, and the Enfield's are more, because the Enfield Horde doesn't have like claws or anything.
Doesn't
It's
even
more
have,
of a
like,
blunt
fangs
force
or that
attack,
yeah.
as to where Monkey Man's like gashing into him.
It would just be a matter of getting through that thick skin.
Which I feel like with razor sharp claws and enough power, he could start breaking through. And, I mean, they're like same height, and the Enfield Horror's head is placed like in front of the body instead of on top. So it's going to be a lot easier to get to with his hands.
And he has slight tool usage, so he knows how to use projectiles and stuff like that.
I don't know if the Monkey Man does.
Doesn't he have like a?
Because he can already use the brass knuckles.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't even have to give him small tool usage though. I think because with
don't
his
see him
his
picking up
tool set
another.
already. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily need. I don't know. I don't see a scenario. I know we said it's a one-on-one fight, but I don't see a scenario where Enfield Horror is really getting like anything over on Monkey Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't. He'd need like a headbutt, like right away, but then Monkey Man's got a defense for that. He's wearing a helmet.
Yeah,
So it's not going to be as damaging as the Enfield Horror would hope.
yeah. I don't know. I think Monkey Man's just a little bit too much in any department.
I feel like
just enough to be more even than just the brunt force of
The
Enfield
Enfield
Horror.
Horror.
I think his item usage, yeah, he's just more lethal.
Yeah.
The Enfield Horror is almost just more like a nuisance.
Yeah.
Alright, then Monkey Man takes our third victory of the episode. Now we hop down to Vampire and Rat Man.
I
think
this
this
is
one-
gonna. I think this one's gonna be just about as quick as the SCP and the. Yeah.
I think it might be
So-
quicker, dude.
Characteristics
If I-
of the Rat Man. Go ahead, Roger.
If I remember correctly, Ratman got decimated by Owlman.
Oh, yeah, he
And
got fucked
I think
up.
we talked for about 10 minutes, and we were like, yeah, he's getting wrecked.
Characteristics. Rat features, humanoid body structure, tail. Like I told them earlier, think of Master Splinter.
Homeless Master Splinter.
Abilities, extreme agility, extreme survival, because, rats, they survive. Stats, intelligence 7, power 8, defense 6, mobility 9, HP 6, stealth 9. Then we hop over to the vampire. Characteristics, pale skin, fangs, I would say pointed, sharp fingernails. It has claw fingernails, but they're not really claws. It's just sharp, jagged
Did we give it
fingernails.
vampiric features like enhanced strength because it's a vampire, or
I don't think we did. I
In
think
its
they went-
abilities, it has bat transformation, eternal youth, and blood sucking. I
I think
believe
we went with more of Dracula style than
traditional.
then
Yeah.
like it, yeah.
And I believe, did the blood sucking restore health?
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did that for El Chupacabra.
yeah, we did.
It has something similar like that.
I think so because the vampires that's its life force. So no
Yeah.
matter what, if it's getting some, it's getting better.
And then we hop over to stats. Intelligence of 10, power of 7, defense of 6, mobility of 7, HP of 9, and stealth of 8. Now, where are they meeting?
I think somehow,
In the sewer.
yeah. Because what's the Ratman ever gonna leave the sewer? Like,
So the original Ratman story, he's not in a sewer necessarily. He's in like a
He's in
bridge
a-
underpass.
Yeah,
I
he's
would call
basically
it.
in a subway. Like he was in the tunnel of a subway going down,
Yeah.
and it was just like a rural subway, and so he got jumped by a bunch of kids and then died, and the rats ate his body, and he kind of became Ratman after that.
So maybe it's like nighttime in a rural
Nighttime.
subway.
Abandoned subway.
Full moon,
Some bats just happen to be flying through when
werewolf.
dinner is
It's
seen.
like a werewolf 'cause we talked about it.
And dinner is Ratman. I think the vampire's the aggressor for sure.
Yeah, I think it just looks at Ratman and bites him immediately. Like Ratman could
was
try to fight
Ratman
back.
still alive, or
What do you mean?
Yeah, he's alive.
well, because he got killed, right?
Yeah, but he came back.
So he comes back. Does he come back as like an undead? where he doesn't have any blood?
No, he has blood. It's just like he mutated.
Yeah. It was weird because
It's a cryptid story. They don't go into
there's
detail.
two different ones. There's like under the tunnel there was a labyrinth, and that's where Ratman came from, and then he crawled up to the surface, and that's one of the stories. But we didn't like that one, so we went with more of the hobo Ratman one.
So yeah, I would say he has blood. He can be drained.
Okay.
He only has an HP of 6. So if the vampire's able to drain him for a good period of time, I feel like that's going to take away a good amount of his HP.
Like, I feel like he might dodge the first one, but then the vampire just, like, gets him.
What's the vampire's mobility?
The vampire's mobility is 7. And Ratman
Ratman's
has
faster.
9. So he could dodge the initial attack. He's also more stealthy than the vampire.
But even if he dodges the initial attack, do you think the vampire is going to go for like a, oh shit, I missed reaction to that? Like, I mean, shit, turn into a bat real quick or something I missed, or like...
He could. I feel like he would definitely go for a follow-up, though, because I don't think he's going to see Ratman as much of a threat. I mean, he's
definitely
big
underestimating Ratman.
Yeah. Not that you can really overestimate Ratman, but yeah. What's Ratman's power? Oh shit, he's got a power of 8.
I think that was more because of his bite.
That's true, he's gonna have the big teeth.
I don't know, Ratman's got pretty good stats here.
Maybe he bites back at the vampire.
Maybe...
Like a counterattack?
Yeah, like the vampire bites him, but he bites...
Well,
but
Ratman's
it's a sneak attack, though. Ratman's gonna be caught off guard.
But Ratman's got better mobility by 2 whole points.
His intelligence kind of high, too.
I could see...
Maybe he could dodge that first attack.
I think I could see the vampire going for like the underestimate. Oh, I'm just gonna go for a kill real quick, and then not realizing like Ratman's way stronger than he thought, and Ratman gets off like a reaction, like bite on his arm or something.
Does he dodge Vampire's first attack then?
I think so. I think Ratman's probably as aware as a rat, like in a sewer.
And he is mostly on his home turf compared to the vampire. Alright, he dodges the first tag, gets an attack back in.
The problem is, does it affect the vampire that much? Vampire's got a pretty high HP.
It's a strong bite, though.
Do you think he
grabs
grabs on, basically? Like bites and locks?
Vampire has a defense of 6.
Ooh, that's not that good. I feel like he's nipping at him.
I don't know, he could lock in with that bite, but my problem is he doesn't have a lot of follow-up. Like, all his power is in the bite.
Yeah.
So I feel like he would want to kind of detach, put some space in, and get ready for the next attack.
Okay. Now Vampire, though, has got heightened awareness. It's definitely like, oh shit, this is more of a threat than I thought.
And the Vampire is really intelligent, so yeah, now he's going to be like, okay, I know what's going on, I gotta be serious with this guy. He's not just going to roll over and die.
Alright, I think at this point Vampire definitely ramps up his attacks, though. Like, do we think he goes in for like a... I don't know. Do you think he needs to use the bat transformation at any point in this fight, or do you think he feels like he's stronger without it?
I feel like maybe that's where the rat could get him.
Like,
Oh,
you think
he's
Ratman
in the
will,
bat form?
eat him in the bat form or something?
Yeah.
So
how's he going to reach him, though? Because if he goes bat form, he has the height advantage with his aerial flight.
But Ratman's got pretty good mobility.
He could probably jump up and grab him. And
or
then
like,
beat him.
or, okay, so he is. Are we in the subway space, or are we outside?
I would say we're in the tunnel.
Because I could almost see Ratman using the wall, like climbing halfway up the wall and like jumping off. Yeah.
And he's faster than Vampire, right?
Yeah, by like 2.
What if the vampire like rushes in at him, but then turns into the bat to try to trick him, and then like goes around, but then Ratman just like jumps off the wall, grabs him, and eats him and finishes it there.
Another thing I just thought of. Ratman's got the tail. It's strong. He could go into bat form, Ratman just swats that shit. Just swats him in bat form.
I can even see it as
and that's going to do some serious damage.
I can even see it as like he uses the tail to like lock onto the vampire, so like, oh, you can't get away this time or something. Like try and morph, that's not going to help you or something.
Okay, so we got Ratman gets the jump on the vampire, surprisingly. Good little bite on him. We're going Vampire transforms as the bat to get around him. Are we doing run-up wall or tail smash?
I like the run up wall.
Yeah.
Runs up wall. He's in bat form. He's going to be a lot weaker. Bats do have the brittle bones. They don't got a lot of meat on their body. Is the damage going to carry over heavily into his human form?
I think so. Now, I think in the vampire's advantage here, I think that by the Rat Man getting a hold of him, I think vampire could surprisingly like transform in that moment and try to get a bite off. Because you're mid-air, vampire's got more control in mid-air. He's been doing that his whole life.
I don't know, because I feel like you have the rat on the wall, which he's probably on all the time, and then you have the vampire transforming into a human in midair. He's not like transforming into the bat.
Well, yeah, but he's just transforming in midair.
I feel like after
the rat's not flying.
The rat grabs the bat and he kind of just has him in a hold. It's more of he can transform and then
to like
he loses
break
his
out of
grip,
the grass,
and now he's stunned.
And then vampire can use that distraction to basically like I need to heal up because he's gotten me twice.
But here's the thing also, now that leaves him open for another bite. That is another
return bite. And Ratman's going to have the stronger bite.
And he has a better mobility too. So once he's back, he's back.
I also think if we go with the jump off wall, if we go straight into the bite, it doesn't matter if he transforms or not.
Yeah,
he's still going to get hit.
I mean, I think it would die if you just bit him in bat form.
In bat form, yeah. But if he's going for the bite and he transforms into human form mid-bite, the human body is going to absorb the bite, not the bat form.
I don't know. I was thinking about it as more like a jump off the wall, like a grab or a slam or something. I wasn't thinking about it as a bite, but that makes sense.
And if he does bite while he's transforming in the human form, what are the odds he bites near the heart, pierces the heart?
I feel
that one's more of a long shot, but
I feel like it would be center of mass. I feel like if I'm transforming out of the bat's usually going to be probably here, center of mass, and then I'm going down and up about the same length.
Okay, so stomach kind of bite.
And even so, I don't know if the bite would have enough to get into the heart to pierce it. It would get close, it'd get into the chest and just dig a cavity there, but...
I think the main point is, the two main factors we need to consider is he going for bite, grab, or smack? And then from there we can determine how really the fight's going to progress. I guess it was really only one point.
I think it was just a bite, really, because I think that you guys were kind of thinking of the same thing. He's just going up for, like, the mid-air, like, trying to get the kill, right? Like,
yeah.
All right. And when he transforms into human form, that's still mid-flight, right?
Yeah, I think he's just doing it so he doesn't die. Like, he understands that Ratman's going for the bite, and that it would kill him while he's a bat. So he's like, okay, fuck.
Okay, so he bites him, but Vampire transforms back to human. You think he bites Ratman?
Well, I think in that instance, I think we still have the vampires, the claws, right?
Hmm.
So I think in that instance, I'd almost be like, fuck, this guy's really got good, like, he's on his own turf. I need to take out something. I think he's mid-bite, mid-body, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I just stab into his head or something. Like, I'd try and get
some
sort like clawing at him or something. Like,
okay.
Like, fuck, I gotta get him off me, 1, and 2, I need to do some damage here. I'm taking too much.
I just thought about it too. The speed of the jump off the wall. He's going to be going pretty fast from that jump. Do you think he's enough momentum to push the vampire against the wall, or do they just fall to the ground after their little collision?
I assumed the jump was angled. Like, I'm bat at the top, we're going boom, boom, into the tunnel.
That's what I think.
Okay. So vampire is also getting smashed up against the subway wall.
No, that's what I was saying. I think he gets smashed onto, like, the rail or something. Like, I think the jump was kind of more like a...
Oh, so you're thinking...
Yeah,
like at
he
an
arcs
arc.
down.
Yeah.
Okay, it falls and hits the rail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we got Ratman on top of Vampire. Ratman's now taking some hits to the... You think he's going for the head since he's bitten
I
on the
think
stomach?
it's just the obvious, like, oh shit, he's
Is that
bit
an
me
insta
twice.
kill, or do you
like,
think his just...
I don't think his claws
I don't think his
long
claws
enough.
are thick enough, but I think they're definitely doing, like, maybe it scratches out Ratman's eyes or something like that, so now, oh shit, I'm at
just, like, trying to
disadvantage. Now I've got to
blind him
use
or
my
doing
ears or something. Like,
Okay, we've got Vampire taking 2 heavy hits. Ratman blinded, question mark?
I think so, because I think the Vampire's smart enough to know, well, he's on his home turf, he knows this area, I'm going to have to blind him.
Well then, does the Ratman have enough senses that he can rely on?
I think he can rely on his sense of smell.
Yeah.
entirely.
Okay. Then I don't think the vampire can stealth.
You think that if he turns into a bat at this point, we think he's too damaged to do anything? Because
No,
I mean, the
I
bite to
think-
the arm initially, do we think that fucked his wing?
I didn't
Maybe.
even think about that.
I think it would. Even if he could still fly as a bat, Ratman can definitely still smell like the sense of his blood.
Yeah.
And then he would be
Yeah,
able
I
to
feel
track
like he's
wherever
not
he goes.
going bat mode again.
I don't think so either. I think that kind of got fucked.
All right.
So
So we got blind Ratman and wounded vampire. He hasn't had a chance to suck any blood to heal.
Does he take this chance to try and... Is he still pinned down?
no, I think. Well, I don't know. Does Ratman hang on even if he's blind?
He's a Ratman. They're desperate. They're gonna do whatever they can
I
to
feel
kill.
like now the vampire like goes in for a strike, but then Ratman uses his tail and swipes his legs out from underneath him, and then bites him.
What if he
he's
uses his
still pinned in
tail
this
to
scenario.
pin down his other good arm?
Or he just grabs his neck. Because he's like, oh shit, I'm blind. So just, even if he's got him pinned, I'm going to grab his neck. That way he's not going to go anywhere.
I think it'd be hard for him to determine neck position that when he's relying solely on smell.
But if he already has
Well,
him
if he's
grabbed
got,
by
I'm
the
saying
shoulders...
if he's already got him grabbed, like
Yeah,
he's
already grappled. He can... If it's on his shoulders or something, he could just
Yeah.
move it.
yeah.
Alright, Ratman's got pretty good advantage right here. Is there anything Vampire can really do? He could turn into the bat just to get out of the grapple.
Well, I'm thinking maybe Claws cut off the tail. Get me
I don't
out
know
of this
if they're
situation.
thick enough
I
to
don't
cut
know.
that tail.
Well, I guess
Well-
near the end of the tail he could.
I'm thinking the end of the tail is what's on his neck. So I'm thinking if it's like right close to his neck, I'm sure
Yeah,
he
I
could
mean the
probably
tail
rip
isn't
that
that
off.
thick.
Yeah. Rat
But-
tails are not very big, yeah.
At the same time, he's kind of stunned and in a stuck position. It gives Ratman an opportunity to keep biting.
The only thing I can
Or
see
at
him...
least, like, he's got a bite and he just rips back. And that's going to rip out, like, a good portion from the vampire's chest.
The only thing I can see him doing is transforming into a bat, but then quickly going behind him and transforming back to try and bite his neck or get something so that he can try and heal.
I
Yeah.
feel like he's just too wounded, and like
I feel like
Rat-
he wants to prioritize heal at
Ratman's
this point.
faster.
He would still be blind.
What if
by
he just
healing.
bit the tail and sucked his blood?
I was thinking about that. Maybe he just, even if it's on him, he just grabs the rest and bites it.
Yeah, that's something to bite. I mean, Ratman isn't aware of his biting ability.
Yeah.
How much, though, do you think he'll be able to heal in the time? Because the Ratman's quick reaction.
I think he's just going for heal enough so I can go back into bat form to get out of this.
But is Ratman not just gonna like break his neck with his tail?
I think a rat probably doesn't have enough strength to just use their tail for anything, and especially rat tails aren't like super thick, so I don't think he's like twisting his neck with it or anything. I think he's just using it to pin him right now.
This might also quicken Ratman's attack. So now he's going for bigger chomps, and he's
And
just
what
Well,
if
do
he
you think it
knows,
kinda-
like, hey, vampire's biting my tail, his head's up there, move the bite upwards to the head.
Do you think that though that kind of kills his tail though, because he's sucking all the blood out of it, so your muscles aren't using anything?
I think the vampire probably tries to escape by biting his tail, and maybe like his tail is like destroyed, but I think Ratman's just gonna
We also have to think
destroy him.
that Ratman has the quicker reaction. So even if he bites the tail, how long does he even get to suck the blood before Ratman reacts? Because he wouldn't even be able to heal by that point.
And I'm still just caught up on the fact that Ratman's already got, like, a good jaw grip on his body. I mean, just imagine pulling back and just tearing out a chunk
Yeah.
from, like, right here. You're gonna rip out a good portion of the body.
So do we think he's doing that, or do we think he's staying locked in?
I don't know. I feel like now that he's getting attacked, he's going to want to get away a little bit. So, yeah, I think pulling back and trying
Yeah.
to escape would do damage while also getting away from where he's receiving damage. And even if the vampire could heal a little bit, I don't think he'd be able to drain that much.
So vampire's huge wounds now.
Yeah.
He's not able to really stand, and Ratman's blind, but he's got a pretty good sense of smell still.
Yeah, pretty good sense of smell. I'm sure he's got decent hearing.
His tail's maybe damaged a little bit now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but besides the tail, I guess he's cut up in the face a little bit, but no major attack, like at least a chest rip.
I think at this point, even if the vampire can get to some sort of situation where he can get away, it's still you're just gonna have to wait till you die, because this is an arena. You know, there's no humans around for you to.
I feel like he's just so weak to the point Ratman's just gonna start eating him.
And he can't fly away. Even if he he wouldn't even be able to run. He'd just be limping away, and Ratman would be able to smell his trail.
Yeah.
I think with the surprising win, Ratman's gonna take it.
Ratman with the win.
It's Ratman. Alright, where are we at on here? Oh, an hour and 5. Do we want to do one more? We got a quick one?
Let's see what the next matchup is.
Or at least if we have a quick
Washuge versus Folk Monster.
That's not a quick one.
That is not a quick one.
We can do possibly Frogman and Omnicook.
I
feel like Frogman could go a while, though. Not only because it's going to be a long battle, I just want to spend a lot of time on it.
I say we say sneak peek at the next episode. It's going to be the Washuge versus the Folk Monster.
Alright, then that's where we'll leave it off. I don't know how we closed out the last one, what we talked about. This is the first episode recorded. I think Cryptids versus Conspiracies will be the next episode coming out after this one.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we want to talk about? Anything we need to plug? I'm pretty sure we've deleted everything else.
No. I was going to say we usually just talk about whatever we want, but that's the after hours, so that wouldn't even be... Where would you say something here?
I mean, Instagram or... Yeah, I think that's all we have now.
You know, Julian, there is one thing.
Oh, wait, no, that wouldn't count for this.
I was talking about believability.
I was going to say believability.
Well, I was just going to hop in. Julian, just quick little thoughts on cryptids.
Yeah, you haven't really given your thoughts on believability of a lot of these things.
That's how we usually round out the Cryptid versus Cryptids episodes.
For me, my thoughts...
Let's say just the ones in this episode. That way we can save your thoughts on the others for maybe later.
I don't know if I believe in a lot of the cryptids. There might be some that are kind of interesting, like the Skinwalker maybe, or stuff like that. But for the most part, I don't think a lot of them are real. I think they're just like something people see or some sort of other animal maybe they didn't know about.
What would you put to the claims of similar stories? What would you say?
I feel like we shouldn't get too in-depth. This would be good for after hours, drilling Julian's thoughts a little bit.
Well, okay, I'll give you a little bit. Like, I feel like similar stories, it might be like the same encounter. Like, if you see something move out of your window, and I was like, oh, it's a dark figure. And then you're like, oh, I saw something move out of my window, and it was a dark figure as well. And then we start creating this idea.
And then more people start to come forward with, oh, there was a dark figure that moved in my window.
Yeah.
And now we've got the window movement.
And then it was the same day and everything, too.
You know, funny enough, there is a phenomenon of people seeing black figures. I don't remember what it's exactly called. I'll have to look into it. But that is a phenomenon, and people do tie it to, like, ghosts, cryptids, spirits, that kind of thing.
So for me, that's where I don't know the line between real and like just hallucinations, because I do believe in like some spiritual stuff, but I don't know, I also have a limit to what I think is real. So I don't think I would ever claim to think any of the cryptids are real, but I will entertain the idea of like listening about the stories and stuff.
Okay. And we can go deeper into that on an after hours, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, but that's been Matt,
Roger,
Andrew,
and Julian
from the Cryptid V podcast. If you're interested in more, you can listen to our previous episodes. If you want to get in contact, we have an email address that is
CryptidVSCryptid@gmail.com.
Cryptids versus Cryptids@gmail.com. Thank you, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we really have anything more to plug. If you go onto Spotify, you can leave us a 5-star review. If you just have a review, email it in. Apple Podcasts also does review. Any 5-star reviews are read aloud on the show. And yeah, I think that wraps us up for tonight.
Yeah, we love your guys' feedback.
Yeah.
And that has been us at the return of Cryptid V, signing off.
See you later.
Later.
Later.